take a look at our numbers. That was $1,262. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Melinda. This is my tall drink of water, Adine. Together we are Hustlin' Hooks here and over on Instagram. If you don't follow us there, we basically share our day and what it looks like for us as part-time resellers. Today we're going to cover 28 sales that we made November 25th, 26th. Today's the 27th, and we're going to cover the little bit that sold already today as well.
Stay tuned, we'll put in a couple of packing tips, and also we'll go through the numbers and see how much money we actually made selling this stuff. Hopefully you learned something from this video.
So first I'm going to cover the Monster High that we've sold. As you know, we just started listing this huge lot that we got a while back, and they've been selling very well for us. The first one that sold was actually just a bunch of arms and hands. This sold for $35. Then we sold Caddy Noir. She's a popular one. This specific version, she's not 100% complete. She sold for $20. We also sold Caddy Noir 13 Wishes, and these were our only solo caddies. Again, not complete. Sold for $25. This is Nafira De Nile. She's beautiful. I love her teal hair. It's my favorite color. She sold for $50. You can see she's in amazing condition, and she doesn't have her accessories, but she has her complete outfit. Another cool one. This is Luna Matthews. She's a moth, obviously. So she sold for $40. Unique. I had never seen her before, so I can see why she sold. And the other unique one, actually this one just sold today. This is Bonita Femur. She's, I guess, a butterfly, and she sold for $25. These are a set that I made up. This is the Wolf family. This is Claude, Claudine, Claudia, and Howleen. So they're a fam, and they sold together for $35. And these are first waves, but they're both pretty incomplete and kind of, ratty hair. But because they're first waves, they sold together still for $65 for that set. So I think someone's going to get a great deal, especially if they know how to fix these up and they can buy the outfits separately. And then we sold these two. This is, these outfits are from a series, Dot Dead Gorgeous. So they were a pair that made sense. We sold them for $30 for both of them. And then we're throwing in this doll as well for free because it's for a little girl for Christmas. So we're going to go ahead and get the dolls packaged up, and we'll show you how we do that. So we like to protect them. They have ball joints, so they're a little bit more fragile than your standard, say, Barbie doll. So we put them in these tubes. These are our leftover cardboard tubes from our packing material. So we're just recycling those. She will fit in here. I have to take this base apart, but we'll bubble wrap her, make sure everything is cushioned and secure to her. And then we put her in here, and then we'll put this in a poly bag. So that way we're confident that she's going to make it all in one piece. So she's bubble wrapped. She's all secured, went around a couple times, made sure everything was nice and tight. We sold her with a brush, so that's popped in here. And then this is the stand base. We did wrap her with the base on her. And now I'm just going to put it in this poly bag, and then we'll tape it to fit. So this is essentially what it looks like when it ships. We're going to be doing this with another one of the expensive dolls, and then the rest we're just going to bubble wrap and bubble wrap and bubble wrap and put them in poly bags.
Like this.
Like that.
So here are all of the Monster Highs. All of them are going to be shipped in bubble wrap and poly bags, and almost every single one is under £1 for first class shipping. All right, my turn. These Sperry boots, waterproof leather top, fantastic condition. We picked them up for $6 on average shoe buying cost. They sold for $45 shipped. Another one of these parts sold. This is that nut part from a Jack LaLaney's food processor. We have about 5 cents into each one of these. We have one more left. It sold for $8, free shipping. It's like a $4 profit. That's perfectly fine. Just parting things out. Pots and pans. We have 3 going out. This is a Magnalite, but it did not have the actual original lid on it, so we priced it a little bit lower. It's in fair overall condition. Monda got this in a big bundle where we're already hundreds into the profit. This one sold for $63 with free shipping, and we'll show you how to ship this. Another awesome pots and pans sale. This is a vintage Revere Ware copper bottom 12-inch with the lid. Really nice condition. Sold for $75 shipped. Found it on Facebook Marketplace for $5. Got 2 of them for $5 each. One sold for $63. This one is out the door. Obviously well into the profit on these. Next up, this is a Farberware 10 1/4 inch. Really nice condition. That sold for $35 shipped. We have about $5 into it. We also have a lid only. This is for Calphalon. The lid sold for $18 with free shipping. It's about a $10 profit. We have $1 into it. So let us give you a couple of packing tips on pots and pans. So a packing tip on pots and pans. We get this question quite often on our YouTube page of how we ship these items. The nice thing about shipping them is that they're not fragile. They're made out of metal, so they don't need a lot of protection. This one is going to fit perfectly in this free 12 by 12 by 8 USPS box. It's going to ship priority for about $10 to $12. The first thing I'm going to do is take the lid, wrap it in paper, invert it. And now I'm going to take this entire thing, wrap it in paper both ways. And now it's done. So it just simply goes inside of the box. And if there's any extra room, we'll stuff a little bit more craft papers on the sides. And that's how easy it is to ship pots and pans. With the lid and the 2 skillets that sold, they're also really easy. This has glass, but it's protected by metal, so it's not really that fragile. We're going to bubble wrap it, and then we're just going to take a box and sandwich it in between 2 pieces of cardboard, put it in a poly bag, and that's done. With these, we're just going to put craft paper around them, take a couple of larger boxes. Again, we're not going to erect the boxes. We're just going to sandwich it and then slide it into a poly bag, and that's it. Easy, easy to ship. So here's that lid, it's bubble wrapped. Here's a box. All I'm doing here is just taking this box and erecting it slightly, putting it in, and I'm going to just fold in these flaps and then tape it around and put it in a poly bag for moisture control. So that's that. Here's that skillet. I'm not going to bubble wrap this. It's made out of hard plastic and metal. I'm just going to slide it in this box. Same thing, tape up the sides, put it in a poly bag, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Okay, here's that lid. It's been bubble wrapped, cardboard wrapped. Here's that Farberware 10 1/4 inch. Now I'm just going to slide this one in a bag. Again, that's just for moisture control because the box is not sealed. So there's the lid, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing with the Farberware. Put it in a large bag, seal it up, we're done.
Okay, gonna knock out a couple small things. This is a Philips 4-way automatic component switcher. I don't know what it does, but we paid $3 for it at a garage sale. We looked it up, and it sold for $28. Whoops. We have about $1 into all of these tapes. They sold as a lot. They were from one of our original store buyouts, and they sold as a lot for $20. We sell them as a lot because they're tapes, so they don't have a lot of individual value, and it helps us move stuff out of the store quicker. They get a value, we get more space. We finally sold our last Furby. He doesn't talk well, but he does work and move. We sold him for $35. I picked him up in a lot of 5. They were $10 a piece. We've already made our profit back, so happy this little guy finally has a home to go to. This video game have about $1 into it from a bulk buy, and that sold for $18. We also sold this electric knife, which I thought they would sell before Thanksgiving, honestly, but we picked it up for $3 at a Goodwill, and it sold for $25.
Some of the bigger stuff that sold, I'm going to wrap this up, and then Monda's going to go over the numbers and tell you what we actually made out of all of these sales. The first one on here, I just want to talk a little bit about this. So this is just a Kenwood receiver. It does a lot of things. I really don't know all the functions. I just know that it works really well, and it came with the antenna and the remote. We picked this up in a bundle deal. We got a Sony CD player, and we got this one for $20 total. They both work perfectly fine. So 10 bucks into it, $90 shipped, and it'll cost about $20 to $25 to ship it out. I wanted to just say a couple things about it though. We had one potential buyer that had asked like 7 different questions of like, what does this volume button do? And what does this button do? And can you tell me what this does? What about this thing? And I gave them all of the answers that I could that I knew, but I also explained to them that, look, we are sellers. We don't really know all the functionality. You're going to have to research it if you want to. And they just kept asking. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is that sometimes you're going to get into a position where you might not know all the answers. Just be upfront and honest with them. I'm not going to spend another hour figuring out every single button for someone that's not willing to do that. And maybe that's bad on my part, but at the same time, we're trying to move stuff. Fun fact, that person didn't even buy it, another person did. So that would have been a lot of time I just didn't want to spend. Next on here is this keyboard. This is just an ergonomic keyboard from Microsoft. These tend to do really well. We've sold a couple of them. This one sold for $45 shipped. We've paid $4 at Goodwill. Next up, another DVD VHS combo unit sold. It's this guy down here. This is a Sensei. We do really well with these. We've sold a lot of them. That one sold for $65 shipped. We have about $7 into it, $6.99 at our local Goodwill. As far as electronics, another piece sold. This is the original Super Nintendo. We got this in a bulk buy. If you want to check out that video, it's in our list of videos. We bought a bunch of old video game stuff from my friend Troy. We have about $30 into the unit. We paired it up with a couple of cheap games. I almost accidentally put this one in the bundle. That's not it. This is actually a $100 game, so that doesn't go with it. But these three, this is just like a football, basketball, and hockey game or something like that. Everything's been tested. It sold for $125 shipped, and again, about 20 bucks to ship it out, maybe a little bit less. We sold a bunch of puzzles. These are all vintage Peanuts puzzles. This is another lot of them. There's, I think, 7 puzzles in here. They're all from like the 70s and 80s, maybe a little bit earlier. This individually, they would have only sold for about $5 to $10 each. So we just gave somebody a good deal for $40 shipped. And we have about $7 into that from a private estate sale pick. We also sold some Pyrex. This is the fancy mushroom set. They are 4 nesting bowl. Only one of them has a lid. We have about $14 into this set, and it sold for $80 shipped. We bought a bunch of Pyrex in a bulk buy. We love bulk buys. More ceramics sold. We don't sell a lot of ceramics for a couple of reasons. Typically, it's slower moving. It's a lot of work to package it. It's a lot of risk to ship it because it's ceramic. So we don't deal a lot with it, but this one is pretty neat. We have 2 sales from this lot already. Actually 3. We sold one set of 5 plates to a friend on Instagram for $40 shipped. This is the Franciscan, I think it's pronounced. That's the brand on it. These 2 bowls sold for $30 shipped, and it's the Franciscan Desert Rose Earthware set. I bought a bunch of this stuff from Goodwill for $15 in total. I think we have about 60 pieces. We also sold this one here. I'll pop it up on the screen. It's a little ways. That sold for $30. And the nice thing is, we already dropped that off. It sold to someone that lives just down the street. What's so funny?
Nobody else eats cereal out of a bowl that big. You're all like, they're like cereal bowls. These are giant cereal, like serving bowls, and you're like, eat cereal out of them.
I'm gonna include that in it. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap all this stuff up, get it packaged. We'll show you how we ship some of the ceramics just to give you some more value out of this video. And once we're done, Mona's gonna go through and do the math and tell you guys exactly how much we profited. Here are those 2 electronics bubble wrap. This is that Kenwood receiver with the remote, and this is that VHS DVD combo unit. Now all we have to do is just find a box that fits, protect the edges as best we can, and that'll be done. The Kenwood receiver is ready to go, but the box is too big. So all I'm going to do is cut this box in these corners here, fold this over, tape it, put a little bit of padding paper on top, and It's really that easy.
So for these Pyrex dishes, we bubble wrap the crap out of them. And then one way that we have found secures them is we just roll them in cardboard and we create another secure wrapping around them before putting them in a box. So we'll do this with each one, which gives it a lot of protection, and then we'll put all of those in a box together and fill any void spaces to prevent any movement within that box.
So this is the receiver. I had to cut down the box quite a bit, but it fit quite nicely in shipping for about $14 with FedEx. This is that DVD VHS combo. Same thing, this box was really long, so I had to cut it off. And you notice that the corners aren't really perfect, but I put egg cartons on each side, and then I folded over scrap cardboard on the long sides, vertical sides. And that's shipping for $19 with FedEx. So those two are done. And on to the next one. We have a couple of video games, the video game console, the plates, and one was working on the other bowls.
Okay, so this is the final product after bubble wrapping and cardboard wrapping those Pyrex. As you can see, they're all in here individually. Even the lid is wrapped. It's all glass. This is the biggest piece. I did the diagonal smush box technique on that one because it's the biggest and it had handles sticking out. So that just worked best. And now we'll fill the void spaces in here with the brown packing paper and it'll be good to go. We also had 2 sales come in while we were packaging. We sold another Monster High. This is Rochelle Goyle.
Bye, Rochelle.
She sold for $24.
Bye, Felicia.
And we also sold these Born men's loafers for $30. So we're gonna go ahead and get those shipped out as well. Lastly, we'll show you the numbers. Okay, so let's take a look at our numbers. That was $1,262 in gross sales. Our cost of goods for everything was $172. We paid $127 in fees. Shipping for everything was $222. $148 in taxes. $593 in net profit. That is the number that we put in our bank. Thanks for joining us on another What Sold video. Hope you learned something, a new brand, or how to pack something. Until next time, have a great one.